Hey everybody, it's Deanna, and I attended what I believe is my fourth ride in with Midnight in Indigo. Today is February 8th, 2025, and I really needed this. After taking time off, I go back to the regular grind and started feeling overwhelmed and stressed out again. And I feel lately that I've been in a fugue state, and not only with my personal life but with what's going on in the greater world. I'm not going to get specific here, but i'm I'm pretty certain everyone knows because it's been in the news a lot, and it's been rough lately. It's been very rough, and the theme of safe spaces keeps popping up, and creating our own safe spaces, and that popped up for me in one of the pieces I wrote during today's write-in. And I'm still waking up, even though I've been awake for 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours at this point. But I'm not used to getting up early on a Saturday. It's a rarity for me. I'm usually waking up at this time. Yeah, and also I was feeling a little under the weather. I was feeling fine when I woke up, but during the right end, I got hit with like, oh, I just felt some bad pain, and I felt really hot for a moment, and I had to pull out my hand fan and start fanning myself. That's how bad it got. Oh my God, I'm okay now, folks, but that was agony, and I'm thinking, why is the universe punishing me? What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? Why do I keep? Why does life, for lack of a better term, why does life keep lifing, like the kids say? Why? Por qué? Pourquoi? Anyway. And it's hard to tell from here, but I'm wearing my sincerely an introvert sweatshirt, and it matches these glasses. And I put on this wrap to break up the complete yellow theme going on. Add a little extra color to this theme I'm wearing. But as soon as I'm finished recording, I'm going back into these are lounge clothes, but when I'm finished recording, I'm going back into my pajamas. Ooh, I've digressed. But anyway, so I attended today's write-in, and it started with a prompt which was called "Borrowed Beginnings," and we were given three lines from different authors' pieces. The first one, I didn't plan to stay long. This is from Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. And I've read Kindred, so I chose not to pick this one because I didn't want to be influenced by the story. I wanted to feel more free in what I chose to write. The second prompt was, here's what nobody tells you about being a black girl. You have to fight for your magic. And this is from Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Excuse me. And the last one, when it happened, it was quick. And this is from Red at the Bone by Jacqueline Woodson. So I chose prompt 2, and I will read what I've written. And I'll read that opening line, and then I'll read what I've written from there. Here's what nobody tells you about being a black girl. You have to fight for your magic. This world is not easy for black women and girls. We're told we're too loud and need to hush. Told we're too quiet and need to speak up more. Told we're too much. Told we're not enough. We are not allowed to exist, not allowed to be. It got to be too much. I thought about ending it all. It'll make the pain go away, silence those negative voices telling me that I don't matter in this world. had no more fight in me. I was just so tired. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to escape to a world of dreams where I could be what I wanted to be. No, it doesn't need to end. With all the energy left in me, I cast a spell to transport me to the world of dreams. My physical body will stay, and I will astral project to where I truly belong. The human plane is not deserving of me. I chanted it like a mantra, telling myself that my suffering, struggling, and pain will be over. I would enter the world of dreams where black women and girls of all shades and shapes would welcome me with open arms. I jumped around here because I added an extra paragraph that added after the fact. So I'm going to jump to that paragraph and have to jump back to it. I confuse myself sometimes. Anyway, I felt myself floating. I saw my physical body laying so peacefully. I was guided by a rainbow with the spectrum ranging from the richest red to the vivacious violet. The gates opened, and I saw multiple jewel colors. I knew I made it home. The elders would guide me with their vision, and the young girls would look up to me for protection. We were free. Our collective power was used to make this dream world a reality. We could dance, sing, communicate with our voices or with telepathy. In this world, there was no pain, no judgment, no struggle, no suffering. We collectively embraced one another, tears of release and happiness flowing down our faces. I had forgotten about all my struggles in the dream world. For a moment, I wondered if I should go back to the physical plane. There are people there who will miss me, who will wonder what happened to me. I cannot. The physical plane is not deserving of me, and those who I left will find their way to the dream plane. I am where I need to be. That is what I wrote from prompt 2, the line from Tiffany D. Jackson's piece. And I don't want to say I struggled with this one, but parts were hard to write because there is a point when the character I wrote was contemplating suicide. But then she hit that point when she thought, no, I'm deserving of better than this. I deserve to live, but I need to find a place that is better suited for me. And that's where I went with that prompt. And then for that second line, the mention of black girl magic, um, we were told that it could be figurative or literal. And I decided to write it as literal, that this person does have power, but all the power has been sapped out of her through time, through microaggressions, through all the struggles that she's dealt with. So she was going to harness all that power that she had left to transport herself through astral projection to this dream world. And thinking about that, because Trisha Hersey with the Nap Ministry, she writes about resting and escaping to these places of dreams. And in this story, This person is still alive, though they've left their physical body. And it made me think about how I go through life. I've been going through life lately because I've been dealing with a lot. And I'm not going to get into it here, but I've been dealing with a lot. And there are times I find myself in a daydreaming state because I'm trying to get through the day and I'm in my head a lot. I'm not paying attention. I'm aware of what's going on around me, but I'm not actively paying attention to it. I was walking to the bus stop after work yesterday, and if I see a car, I let the car go by because I don't like when these fools creep up on me when I'm walking. And there's one guy, this weird intersection, and I wave him along, and then he starts talking to me. But I was aware he was speaking, but I wasn't listening to what he was saying. I was listening to my I've got now I have these wireless noise canceling headphones which are so much more convenient than the wired ones, but I digress. And I was listening to Johnny Gill singing my my, you sure look good tonight. Don't dig me for that, YouTube. I had to sing it. But anyway, this man's talking to me and he's like, well, you should have. And I was just like, I heard sound. It was like, but I wasn't paying attention. I look at him and I kept walking. I didn't want to engage the man. And it's just like, I feel like I sometimes joke saying I'm tired, I'm astral projecting. I'm physically present, but I'm mentally elsewhere. And that theme came up for me too with writing this piece. And they came up too. And I mentioned earlier that the theme of safe spaces, especially in this climate, keeps popping up. It popped up a few times with the other writers. I'm not going to talk about their writing because that's not my story to share, but it did pop up. And I remember watching a few days ago, Marissa Price did a live about creating our own safe spaces because they are so desperately needed in these times. And that's the character I wrote did here, creating a safe space where it's nothing but black women and girls, and they're all protecting each other. They all pull their magic to create this place where they can sing and dance and laugh and smile and embrace each other. And places like this should be a reality. So off to prompt two. This is the photo prompt, and I'll describe the photo. It's a photo of a little black girl in a room in the middle of dancing. The room has a hammock, large windows, striped floor. A chandelier is in the background. There are pictures on the walls. The girl is wearing a white dress with a pink sash, white tights or socks, and black Mary Janes. And she looks to be in the middle of a pirouette. She's standing on her left foot and she has her right leg up. This one is shorter because I didn't feel I should have gone longer into it. I wanted to keep it short and simple. If I can turn this page, I grab this page. You know, some people like to lick their fingers and turn the page. Ugh, that's not me, man. Whew. Anyway, Ebony was so excited. She was going to start Ms. Jean's School of Dance, the most elite school for aspiring black dancers. She liked to spin around in the living room and pretend that she was a ballerina, but she didn't have to pretend anymore. Her mother, Janet, was a dancer. Let me start that line over. Her mother, Janet, was a dancer and was discouraged from becoming a ballerina because black bodies don't have the ideal form for being ballerinas. Ballerinas should have long, lean lines. Those discouraging words made Janet pursue modern dance instead, giving her more freedom of movement and in creating shapes. With Ms. Jean's school, Ebony would never have to deal with the things that Janet dealt with. Janet loved her body and wouldn't change it. Only white people think that a flat chest, stick legs, and a pancake ass should be celebrated. They wanted to stuff curvy black bodies into tiny, constricting boxes. Not my daughter, Janet said to herself. Ebony will get to be a ballerina. Ebony will get to be whoever she chooses to be. That was my prompt two, the photo prompt. And then there was the breakout into smaller groups, and I spoke with two other women. One lives also lived in Virginia. I'm not sure where specifically it is, but I'm guessing it's maybe an hour or two away. I have to look it up. But and they talked about their their goals for writing, and the same with me. I was more in listening mode then, because at that time that's when I started feeling really. I mentioned earlier feeling a little under the weather, and that's when I started to feel really out of it. And I was doing that thing I tend to do where I pretend I'm okay when I'm not. But once the breakout session was over, I did. I turned my camera off and I grabbed the fan. I fanned myself. I had to sit for a moment, take some breaths. I mean, I was just like, I don't know, all this pain, the cramps, and the feeling hot all of a sudden. It's like, goodness gracious, I thought I was too young for that. Goodness, I thought I was too young. I thought I had like a decade to go before I started dealing with, feeling a little hot. You know what I mean? Who? And I remember when I was in my 20s, and older women would just start fanning themselves and just say, I'm going through hot flashes. And I said that when I get to be that age, I don't want to just, because I tend to be very stoic. I don't like showing when I'm feeling sick or under the weather. And I do, as I mentioned in a previous video, I do sometimes struggle with asking for help, and that ties into that. I don't want people to see me weak or in pain because people have seen me vulnerable and have taken advantage. And it's something that I have to, I mean, they don't need to know everything that I'm going through, but I'm still working on learning how to be more open and more vulnerable to a degree. Mm. But yeah, but when the breakout session was over, I did turn my camera off and go take care of myself, and I felt better after a few minutes. I went back, and the last section was the writing, the free write prompt or the free write, and I wrote about how I was feeling that time, which I've already talked about. I'm not feeling, I wasn't feeling well at the time. I'm not going to read that, but that was it. That was it, and as usual, I enjoyed it. It's, as I mentioned, the theme of safe spaces keeps popping up, and they're so needed. And I'm not often around like-minded people, and I've mentioned that in my previous reading of my writing from the write-in. Reading of my writing from the write-in. That's a tongue twister. And I I'm not often in spaces that are welcoming, or that I vibe with, or that I feel comfortable in. So I take advantage of these write-ins whenever I can. And though we're not in the same location, though so and so does not live next door to me, I wish these people lived next door to me. They'd be better than my current neighbors. Lord have mercy. Those my neighbors. Oh my God, they party. I mentioned before, they party like it's 1999. They blasted music on Wednesday from 7 to 11, and then they blasted music, or was it midnight? No, it was 11. It was 11. And then yesterday they blasted music from 7 to after midnight. I'm like thinking, goodness gracious, don't you fools use headphones? I don't want to listen to your music. That's why I use noise canceling headphones whenever I can, because I want to listen to my own music. I don't want to hear anyone else's music. I swear, it's like people who do that. I find that people who like to blast music and be loud, or like they have those loud speakerphone conversations. I'm using the toilet. Goodness gracious, have some cool, have some. Yes, you're sitting in the bathroom talking on your phone. I don't want. Anyway. Goodness gracious, people. I should study psychology. I swear. I thought about it when I was younger, but nah. I mean, I'm curious to know why people are the way they are. And same thing, sociology. That same thing. That same mentality. Why are people the way they are? But anyway, I digress. But what was I saying again? Talking about noise and talking about. Okay. I was saying how I wished that the women in the group were my neighbors, and I just wish that I were surrounded around more like-minded people. I mean, it would be so nice, especially in these tough times that we're going through right now. And I'm slowly doing things to help bring myself back to me, to come back to myself. I entered I signed up to enter something that I will announce in a future video. Right now, it's happening, but I'd rather discuss it closer to the time when it happens. It'll make more sense come that time. But I'm slowly doing things to get back to my creative self, my forms of self expression, my all the things that I feel there are essences of me that I have put on the back burner in these past few years. I've become stagnant and I want to break that stagnancy so badly. Oh, people, I tell you. Mm, yeah. But that is it from me, folks. If you have liked this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. When I log off, I'll likely be going back to sleep. Take care. Bye.